based on who has the stronger record. Even
So
though we're at
KC
home.
gets home field advantage.
Yeah.
So
and
if I was
Tampa
Mike
Bay's
Evans,
home
I'd be
field.
like going to Mahomes. Or if I was Devin White, I've been going to put a sticky paper over mine where Mahomes is going to be at. And be like, I'm going to see you Sunday.
I think it has something to do with gambling. I think Brady knows something. It's a bit of Deflategate wrapped up in. Eventually this is going to be called Jersey Gate.
Ooh.
Tampa. Or
Jersey
Baygate.
Gate.
Baygate, yeah.
It's going to be the Baygate.
Because if he, because of the color science behind. Have you guys ever known gamblers that just use color science to gamble and come out
Robin Hood.
extremely high records for gambling? We had a woman in our office years ago. We called her the Oracle. She won continuously year after year. Yeah, year after year, just using jerseys, colors.
I know these women.
This is crazy stuff. But I don't really have much more to add to that because I don't know anything about it. But I think that's what Brady's up to.
Okay.
No. I think
We
Kansas
will
City's
see.
jersey will look a little bit better with the smoke pattern on it anyways. It's another Chiefs, and they always smoked all their food. So they're going to be the better tasting food this weekend.
Did
It's
you
Kansas
guys
City.
happen to see the football that they produced for the Super Bowl earlier today?
What do you mean?
It's pretty cool.
What,
It's
just for the game?
The whole Super Bowl, yeah.
Oh, well,
Adam-
the quarterback gets their own set of balls. Kickers get their own set
No,
of balls
but
and
like
everything.
it's obviously not the same ball, but it's the ball, like the style going into the game.
It's like a commemorative
really
ball.
cool.
I've got my own
Yeah,
set of
it's
balls.
really cool, actually.
I never took you as a ball person.
And,
but
and they come in a bag.
I'm gonna bust your
I was
balls.
born with it. It's a hairy bag now, but it wasn't. Anyway, let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's throw the ball around. Let's throw the ball around the horn here, guys.
Which ball?
Well, the baseball. Oh, come on. It needs to be busted, too. But come on. MLB. Let's get into this. Tanaka returns to the Golden Eagles, guys. The Rakuten Golden Eagles. I don't know how to do that, but I love the Japanese baseball. I would love to be in Japan watching baseball. I think I'd have a lot more fun.
Oh, man, it's got to be so fun,
I
man.
would
bet
love-
it's a blast.
I would love to hear the plug from Kansas City Indians when he talks about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanaka.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got no huevos. No huevos.
Oh, you're talking about from the movie Major League
Major
2?
League.
Yeah. Liz would be interested in hearing this. So in Japan, baseball in Japan is much like soccer is in Europe. So in Japan, all of the teams have their own like songs that they sing in the stands. They have chants. Baseball in Japan is very similar to soccer in Europe. If you look it up, so this last season, the Tampa Bay Rays signed Yoshi Sasugo from the Bay Stars in Japan, and when they signed him, their fan club put together a YouTube video and tagged the Rays in it and posted it on YouTube to tell us, like, hey, you just got our MVP. Like, he's the most beloved member of he was the MVP the previous season in Japan baseball, in Nippon League baseball. And so they made a video. These are his songs. These are the songs we sing when he comes to bat. Like,
It's awesome.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's very much like
and
soccer.
I'm going to correct you.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
U.S. is the only country that doesn't celebrate all their sports like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
yeah. I'm not familiar, but yeah, you might be right.
I mean, all other sports are like the fans are chanting, they're singing war cries.
Yeah.
They-
When we go to break,
it's
I'll show
just-
you the video. It's really cool, though. The way that they do baseball in Japan is awesome.
So Masahiro Tanaka is closing in on a deal to return to his former Japanese team, the Rakuten Eagles, as mentioned before. And it's looking like he might even get a better deal. They started negotiations. He might even get a better deal than he could get here in the MLB in America. You think that's a sign that the Yankees might be hurting a little bit? Or is it really just with the recent signings of Corey Kluber and Jamison Tylen from the Pirates that this 32-year-old right-hander is ready to return home to Japan? Or is it just Japan's great, sushi's better, why not go home?
I think it might be a lot about with what he's comfortable with. Like, New York's not a comfortable city to live in right now.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
very comfortable. Like, I can go back home and make more money.
Yeah.
And be a legend. Be like, hey, I'm the guy who went to Major League Baseball, came back in their prime
Yeah.
to support their home team.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the opportunity.
Pull a LeBron.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
It is. It kind of, in a way, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's getting to the end of his career. he probably wants to finish his career back at home. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of writing on the wall going on right now because just today, before we started the show, Didi Gregorius, the second baseman for the Yankees, he just re-signed with the Phillies. He's going back to Philadelphia where he started his career. So the Yankees are losing some names here. And they don't have a really strong farm club because the Yankees have historically just bought players. So their farm club is pretty weak. So I don't know what that says about what we're going to look to New York, to the Yankees for this season. But losing Didi Gregorius, that's a huge thing, man.
Yeah.
I think he signed a $58 million deal to go back to Philadelphia where he came from.
Yeah.
And he won a World Series there,
Yeah.
beat my Rays in 2008
Yeah.
with that team. So he's
There's
going
just
back
so
to Philly.
much. There's so much in New York, anyways. There's so much media pressure on you.
Yeah.
So much spotlight on you. He might have just got tired of like, man, I can't even go outside and fart outdoors anymore.
True.
You know?
Very true.
That TMZ
Very true.
being there.
Everybody was like,
It's very true.
But everybody's
After,
here.
I don't know if
And
he
it
eats
just-
sushi, but after a big plate of sushi, everybody likes to let loose.
Oh
you know?
man,
Yeah.
I get loose.
You're not able to do that on the subway all the time, anyway.
Says
talk
who?
about-
I will.
Nothing holds you back, Todd.
Dominator.
Let's talk about Schilling. He's got a huge insurrection. You guys heard about this?
Oh, yeah. I heard it. Yeah.
Kurt Schilling, right?
Kurt Schilling. That's right.
Baseball player.
Baseball player.
From like
yeah.
a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not
For
that long.
for me, it's a long time
For
ago.
her, yes. It's a long time ago.
I was
for
born
her.
in '90. Like
Yeah.
when did he play?
See, I would give you that if you would have said the Arizona Diamondbacks, Kurt Schilling.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give you
That's
the
where-
Boston. I'm not going to give you the
Well-
Boston Red Sox, Kurt Schilling.
In her defense, the last time he won a World Series, she was 17.
Yeah.
That's
13 years
But I
ago.
mean,
that's a long time
you're
ago.
You're a teenager at that point. I mean,
Yeah, but I didn't pay
he's
attention
not that old.
to.
That's true. So anyway, the Hall of Fame recently had voted. Kurt Schilling received 71%, 16 away from making the Hall of Fame. But people are saying that his record might not quite be enough to get him into the Hall of Fame. And Schilling, I don't know how much pressure was really put on him. I know he's under a lot of pressure, but he feels as though he's under a lot of pressure for tweeting and making statements that seem to allegedly support the raid of the Capitol building and the attempt to overturn the vote.
What?
Yeah.
He's a very outspoken political person, yes.
Oh wow.
He was outspoken politically, and he thinks that it's possible that the journalists that are involved in voting quite possibly could have looked at that. Now, in the original statement about what is a Hall of Famer, there is a quote, and in that quote involves the integrity and character. I think the guy has proven his integrity and character throughout his years on the baseball field.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's just my opinion. I mean, now years later, he has a political flare-up, maybe says some things that in this political climate might not have been appropriate.
Or might not be that popular, honestly.
yeah.
Because it doesn't matter whether it's appropriate or not. If
Yeah.
it's political, it's
Yeah.
just not – the things has said have not been that popular.
Yeah.
You know, but I can say, like, personally, like as a music fan, I disagree in every aspect that there is with Ted Nugent and his political opinions.
Yep.
But I can still say that Double Gonzo Live is one of the greatest albums ever recorded. So
Yeah, it's a good
I can,
example.
and so separating, I can separate the artist from the art and go,
Yeah.
Ted Nugent, amazing rock and roll guitar player, made some really great albums. Don't agree with him politically, but I don't hold that. I personally think that Kurt Schilling, when you look at his record and everything, he won what 4 World Series titles with 3 different teams, and his postseason record is immaculate. Like, he is unbeatable in the postseason.
Well,
11
he
and 2.
deserves.
I think
11 and 2 in the
I think
postseason.
I think we're missing the biggest point here.
Yeah.
Dirt. Name off the people that were running in this class.
And
All the people that could have been nominated for 2021.
Oh, yeah,
to
you
be
had
inducted. Who do you have?
a
Barry
lot-
Bonds. You
a lot of-
have. Who else do you have, Dirt?
Roger
Go
Clemens.
through
a
it.
lot of Steroids era guys, but he's one era removed from
There's
them.
there's a bunch of good talent there, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Barry Bonds is still somebody you should look at.
Right.
You
I mean,
still can't, though, 'cause the steroids,
I know,
right?
No, screw that.
He's still on the ballot,
No, hold on. Hear me out, though.
Yeah.
If Barry Bonds is taking steroids, you think that pitcher just not throwing at him has possibly taken steroids too? I think
at
it's.
that
I know,
ti-
but
at
it's a
that time
double.
in the game, probably.
Everybody was taking
Like,
steroids in
yeah.
that time. It's a null and void
'Cause they weren't
We're gonna-
testing for it.
I know, but we're going to asterisk somebody for taking steroids when everybody in the game at that time was taking steroids. That's fair play. And I think a lot of people took that into account, and there's a good group of them to pick to get 75%. Is that what they need?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a tall order with the group.
No, but here's the thing though: the Kurt Schilling precedes the steroid era and post and he goes
I'm
after
not,
the steroid era.
I'm not saying
and
him.
it's
I'm
very
saying there's a
evident
group.
that
There's a huge
So you had
group
something
of
to say,
talent
Liz,
in there.
right?
It's very evident, though. I mean, first of all, number one, Kurt Schilling has never been implicated nor even accused of using PEDs ever. It has nothing to do with that. I think when you look at guys like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, it's obvious. It's very obvious that their bodies physically changed drastically during that period. Kurt Schilling was never that guy.
Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire.
I know, but
yeah.
I don't think that it's just consistent of just one side doing it. That whole
Well, you're
league,
kind of talking about two different things.
No,
We're talking
I
about
think
Kurt
the
Schilling.
whole. I know, but I think the whole league at the time prior to Schilling was all just doping.
Yeah,
Everybody was doping.
That's well established.
I will say, though, if-
sports has talked about that.
and to put an asterisk by their name because they were doping and hit a bunch of home runs. Well,
Right.
They were hitting a bunch of home runs against a bunch of doping pitchers too.
Yeah, but they're being compared to people who weren't in other eras.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I
why
don't think any of them should get one, honestly. But
that.
Schilling, I like.
But let's get back to Schilling. So he helped to lead the Philadelphia Phillies to World Series in '93. He won championships in 2001 with Arizona Diamondbacks, in 2004 and 2007 with the Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
Schilling retired with a career postseason record, 11-2. He's a member of the 3,000 Strikeout Club. He's tied for third for the most 300 strikeout seasons. So this guy, I mean, and not to mention, I mean, he wrote. Let's keep on the subject here. He wrote. Now he writes a manifesto, a letter, in which he's very thankful, but he also talks about the challenges of having to deal with being called a racist, a homophobic, all these different things that people allegedly called him. I don't know if this is just something he perceived or if it's an actual thing that he was called. But I will say this: if you lash out politically on Twitter, you're gonna have to expect that there's going to be comeback.
Yeah, some repercussions of that because you have all your fan base following you.
Yeah.
And half of your fan base is not going to agree with your political comment.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. So if you're no matter who you are, if you're a spotlight and you've got 100,000 Twitter, how many Twitter followers do you have, Liz?
like 120,000.
Right. So if you start twittering different things, you're going to get
A lot of backlash.
a lot of backlash.
That's
Canceled.
what you keep religion, you keep, sexual orientation, everything out of it, and you just talk about what you do. You talk about baseball. You talk about whatever avenue you're trying to get out to your fans, not your political views or your religious views. Or
And
anything.
I feel all athletes get into that where they get intertwined with rather than talking about how the game went, to change it about something that makes them a subject of the conversation rather than the conversation being about the subject of the game.
Right.
And I feel players need to avoid that. I don't think that's. There's times when we need to hear that, but there's other times where right now Schilling just didn't need to say didn't need to say that, but he's also already probably been loaded with. And I'm not defending it. I just think that we need to separate politics from sports.
But I think more importantly, we need to stop when it comes to the Hall of Fame, and this is me as a purist when it comes to baseball. That guy, Kurt Schilling, could go on Twitter and say whatever he wants to, and it could be something that I deem completely irresponsible, and it doesn't. I think personally that him being inducted into the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or any of that. I think his stats and what he accomplished as a baseball player is all that should be brought into the question as to whether he belongs in the Hall of Fame. And his stats as a player, does he belong? Absolutely. I think Kurt Schilling is a Hall of Famer.
On the contrary, I eat the box.
Okay, yeah.
I eat the box.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Right.
They are anti